all of you. Welcome to the Orange County Emergency Operations Center here in East Orange County. A lot has happened in the last 24 hours, and I want to make certain that our team of community partners will provide updates to you about where we are. At this time, we have transitioned from a response effort to a recovery mode here within our community. And there's a lot of good news associated with that. But in terms of the storm, it was bad, but it could have been a lot worse. And so we are going to take probably the next week or better to really get far into recovery. We had 10 to 16 inches of rain throughout the county that caused significant challenges for us with flooding. We still have a significant number of roadways that still have water that has flooded them, but we have crews that's out working to make those roadways passable. We had significant flooding that affected assisted living facilities and other businesses within our community. We certainly had a major flood in the Orla Vista area. We will be taking quite some time to rectify that situation. But I also want to let you know that as we have transitioned to the recovery phase, our airport is back operational. We also want to let you know that you'll be hearing in just a few moments from our Orange County Public Schools about some of the efforts underway with our schools. We do have a FEMA representative that's embedded here within our community, and he's here with us today. If you have any questions related to FEMA in just a few moments, we will formally introduce the FEMA representative at that time. But I also want to let you know that probably some of the better news that we've received is that Orange County has been added to the FEMA disaster declaration for Florida. What that will allow is for us to get appropriate reimbursements as we endeavor to collect the debris and other things here within our community to fully restore us back to where we were pre-hurricane. Charles Williams is our FEMA representative that is here with us in the EOC at this time. I want to give you an update on where we are with our shelters. We still have approximately 1,000 individuals who are still in our shelters, and that includes nearly 80 people who have special needs. Lynx has asked me to report that about a quarter of the Lynx routes are now operational. It would take some time before they're fully operational, but if you are a bus rider and you need information, you can go to their website at golynx.com to gather additional information about the Lynx services. Let me just touch on our tremendous staff who have been really working around the clock now for several days. They have been doing yeoman's work in our community to assist with evacuations, as first responders, respond to keep our community safe, as public works and utilities workers to also deal with the myriad of challenges that we have with the loss of power, down power lines. I want to point out that we do have a significant number of traffic signals that are still out, and that creates quite the hazard in our community. So to our traveling motorists, let me remind you that if you come to an intersection or location where there's a traffic signal out, we want you to treat that traffic signal as if it's a four-way stop sign. That is the best way that we can approach it. Just don't go barreling through the traffic signal because that just increases the potential for motor vehicle traffic crashes in our community. We have been in partnership now with the National Guard. We do have representatives here with us in the EOC from the National Guard. They have been working with our Orange County Fire Rescue Department and other fire departments in various evacuation efforts. We saw where we had to use high water vehicles and rescued 120 nursing home residents and transported them to a sister facility from the Life Center, which is an assisted living facility on Rouse Road in East Orange County. That was a significant mission for our firefighters and the National Guard last night. So let me just say to the National Guardsmen, thank you for your assistance here within our community. We have been working with the American Red Cross. We do have a representative here from the Red Cross to assist us with providing housing and other needs, unmet needs of individuals who perhaps have been displaced or impacted because of the storm. Some of the rescues that we participated in yesterday included the Orla Vista area. I had the opportunity to go out myself and witness firsthand that rescue mission. We were in the Bunnybrook neighborhood, the Cypress Landing neighborhood, Hampton Courts Apartments, Oakcrest Trailer Park, the Avante Senior Living Facility. That happened during the early hours yesterday. Now let me just talk a little bit about our utilities. Orange County utilities personnel really have been working hard for the entire time of this response effort. I'm fortunate to report that we really have not had any interrupted delivery of reliable and safe tap water here within our community. I appreciate the work that our utilities division has helped to keep us functional and operational in that regard. Our solid waste division staff have also been working. Our regular services will be back on track soon. The Orange County landfill and transfer stations will be closed to the public today, and with the goal of reopening tomorrow. And certainly if we don't get reopened tomorrow, it will be Monday at the latest, but our goal is to get reopened tomorrow. There will be an updated schedule available through our ocfl.net/storm website that will provide precise information. In terms of trash pickup, you may see, depending upon whether you live in a municipality or you live in the unincorporated area. If you live in a municipality, I would tell you to pay attention to the communications that come out from those municipalities, such as the City of Orlando, about trash pickup, etc. But as it relates to unincorporated Orange County, we will have an updated schedule of trash collections on our website, but our residential curbside collection program is slated to resume its regular service beginning on Monday, October the 3rd. Residents, however, may experience some delays with yard waste collection for the next several weeks. We look forward to executing our debris removal contract, where we will bring in additional contractors or haulers to assist with removal of the increased amount of debris that we have throughout Orange County. While the storm could have been much worse, we do have an extraordinary amount of debris that is in our neighborhoods and along our roadways, and it's going to take some time to clean all of that up and get our community back, the shining, beautiful community that it was pre-storm. Residents, again, may see some delays in the trash collections. We just ask that you be patient with us as we move forward. We do have representatives here from Orlando Utilities Commission. Ms. Luz Aviles is here. I may have messed up the name partly, but I came close. But in either case, I'm going to ask her to come up in just a few moments. But before we do that, we have a number of people who have joined us. First, let me recognize my colleague from the Board of County Commissioner, Commissioner Commissioner Myra Uribe is here with us. And we have Orange County Sheriff John Mina. So we're going to have Sheriff Mina come up and address the group, and then he's going to be followed by Mr. Scott Howard from the Orange County Public Schools, and then we're going to ask our OUC representative to come up and share some details about their respective services. So again, we'll begin with Sheriff John Mina.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning. And so I know there are parts of Orange County that are still dealing with the impacts of Hurricane Ian, and so we just want our residents to know that the Orange County Sheriff's Office will be with them every step of the way. As always, we will be out and about around the clock. We're staffing many intersections and roadways that are most severely impacted by the hurricane, and I know their work is far from done, but I do want to take some time to thank the men and women in the Orange County Sheriff's Office and all of our first responders who have been out there really doing such a fantastic job. And our emergency response team and Marine units have rescued more than 40 people and 3 dogs from neighborhoods and other facilities, and our patrol units have been out in every corner of the county assisting our residents. We've been receiving a lot of calls from families and who are concerned about their loved ones whose power might be out and not being able to get in contact with them. So we have been doing a lot of that, and those folks are very, very thankful we're able to get a hold of their loved ones. I can't say enough about our civilian support staff. We can't do what we do in law enforcement without all of our civilians, from supply to fleet. They give us the tools that we need to do to keep our community safe. And then again, I want to thank our dispatchers and call takers. They have literally taken thousands and thousands of calls and dispatched thousands and thousands of calls, much more than we normally see during their regular service hours. So they have done an exceptional job. And those are just a few of the examples of the great work that's going on. Many of you have heard me say that the Orange County Sheriff's Office cares deeply about this community, and that just shows that. And of course, our own employees are affected and part of this community as well. We have 17 employees who have had pretty significant flooding and roof damage to their homes while they're out, patrolling the streets. So we're going to go ahead and take care of them. All this past week, I've been telling our residents and specifically our criminals that I told you that we would be out there in force and to not be committing crimes. Well, last night, 3 people tried to burglarize the Family Dollar at on Apopka Island. They were quickly apprehended after their car got stuck in some flooding water. So we were happy about that. But it was nice to have all those additional personnel. They weren't going anywhere, and they were taken into custody peacefully and without incident. Again, we're probably looking to send deputies to Southwest Florida to assist, most likely in a relief effort. There are a bunch of other agencies that are there now helping all those in the southwest part of the state, and they're going to need relief soon. So we'll probably send close to 50 deputies and support personnel down there. I did want to let people know that Governor DeSantis did reach out to check on our first responders and deputies and thank everyone for the job they're doing, and also asked if there was anything that we needed, so we appreciate that. Again, as the mayor has said, a lot of intersections are impacted. Please, if you come to an intersection that doesn't happen to have law enforcement there and all the lights are out, treat that as a 4-way stop, and of course, again, stay away from standing water and down power lines. Thank you. I'll turn it over to Scott from Orange County Public Schools.
Thank you, Sheriff. Scott Howard, Chief Communications Officer, Orange County Public Schools. Just want to thank the Sheriff, Sheriff Mina, and his deputies for supporting our school shelters during this time. Great job. We really appreciate that. And thank the mayor for his leadership and staff and their cooperation and partnership throughout this. It's been a difficult road, but certainly we appreciate that. Let me start by saying, first of all, I hope that our employees, our families made it through this storm with safely and with minimal damage to their property and homes. If any of our employees are in need of assistance, they can contact our employee assistance line. It's 877-622-5600. 622-4327. That line is manned 24/7. And any parent or guardian of a student in need of assistance can always call the County 311 line. Be sure to continue to follow us on our website at ocps.net and also on Facebook and Twitter, where we'll be posting information and updates and resources in regards to our schools. Our students, families, and employees are always top of mind during this time, and our goal is to return to school on Monday, October 3rd. All of our schools and offices will remain closed through today. Extracurricular activities have been canceled through the weekend, and athletic events will be rescheduled if possible. Once we are able to assess any potential damage to our schools and district facilities, we will provide phone, email, text messaging updates to our families and employees this evening as to the status of schools opening on Monday. As of now, we're seeing major flooding issues at one of our schools at Riverdale Elementary, which we've been talking about this morning, and what options we will have for the students and families and employees at Riverdale. Our priority is to ensure our students and staff return to a safe learning environment as soon as possible. If necessary, the district will look at alternative instructional options for students, such as alternative locations for instruction, alternative sites, or, if possible, virtual learning. We have not received any direction from the state as far as the virtual option, but we will certainly look at that as a possibility. As a reminder for our students who are planning on taking the SAT tomorrow, you're off the hook. The SAT and the administration of the test has been postponed, and a new date will be determined in the near future. Again, our thoughts and prayers are with our students, parents, and employees as they recover from the impact of the storm. And I encourage our employees, again, if they need assistance, to call 877-622-4327. That line is open 24/7, and our parents or guardians or employees can always call the 311 number. Please continue to be safe as we recover from the impacts of Ian. And now I'll turn it over to Luz from OUC.
Thank you, Scott. On behalf of OUC, please know that our thoughts are with the millions of Floridians who've been deeply affected by the storm, especially here in Central Florida as well. Thank you to the crews and emergency personnel working to restore power and help people in communities throughout. Yesterday, OUC outages peaked at 97,560 around 11 a.m. As of 9:30 this morning, we were just under 27,000 customers still without power, which means teams of OUC and external crews were able to restore about 72% of our total outages. The work continues today. 69 assessment teams are currently out in the field surveying damage to help us prioritize our restoration work. More than 300 additional crew members made up of line techs, tree specialists, and trouble techs are also in the field, making the necessary repairs to restore remaining outages as quickly and safely as possible. Our restoration process began with a focus on critical customers such as hospitals, wastewater plants, fire, police stations, and other emergency locations. We are now making repairs to feeder distribution lines that will restore the power to the largest number of customers in the quickest manner possible. Then we will work down to the individual customer level. We expect to assist and equipment. The equipment is incredibly dangerous and should never be handled by untrained hands. Please remember that you should never, under any circumstances, touch down power lines or wire. If you encounter one, please report it to 911 or call your utility company. The storm brought our service territory more flooding, as you've been hearing today, than we've had in recent memory. Remember that electric current passes very easily through water, so it's imperative to stay away from pooled water that may be impacted by down lines or other electrical equipment. We also remind you to keep generator safety top of mind. Finally, OUC should visit OUC.com. OUC customers should visit OUC.com/Storm Center for important information and sign up for outage alerts offered in English and Spanish by texting REG to 69682. Please rest assured that we are working as quickly and safely as possible to restore services to our customers. Thank you, and we appreciate your patience.
Okay, since we're talking about energy companies, Duke could not be here this morning, but they did ask me to provide some information to you, the public. First, they wanted to thank the customers for their patience as they work to get everyone's lights back on. As of 9:15 today, Duke reports that 35% of Duke Energy Florida customers in Orange County are without power. Crews have been working around the clock where conditions allow and have restored more than 130,000 customers in Orange County. This morning, the company has released an estimated time of restoration for Orange County customers. The current estimated time of restoration for 90% of Duke customers in Orange County is no later than 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, October the 2nd. The flooding continues to hinder the company's ability to restore power and complete their damage assessments and provide estimated times of restoration in some areas, but they wanted you to know that they remain out in the field and they're committed to restoring power where it is safe to do so. So we share that with you. At this time, I'm going to ask Division Chief Avery, our emergency manager, to come forward to kind of give you a summary of some of the things that's happening currently in our emergency operations center related to our recovery efforts. Chief Avery.
Thank you, Mayor. So good morning. So we are the Orange County Emergency Operations Center is still activated at a full activation level 1. So what that means is all of our partners are in our Emergency Operations Center. As we transition to recovery, we are still working with all of our partners in Orange County. We're very fortunate to have over 200 partners that when we have a disaster such as this, they come together and support each other to make sure we get our community back up and running. Over the last couple days, we've assisted fire rescues, assisted over 12 neighborhoods that had a massive amount of flooding, as you've heard. And when we talk about partnerships, we have the National Guard that's been right alongside with us. I do want to give a special shout out as well to Lynx. They have been steady by our side through this whole process, whether it's been taking people to shelters or taking them to a partner sister assisted living facility. They have been right there willing to support. Prior to the storm, they were right there helping us get people into shelters. So we can't overemphasize the importance of our partnerships here in Orange County, and just incredible work by all of them coming together. Fire Rescue has deployed Task Force 4 to Punta Gorda. I'm sure you've seen their devastation there. So they are in Punta Gorda currently, and that's a team that's made up by a couple of our local fire agencies, City of Orlando, Seminole County, and a couple of others. So they are right now on the ground in Punta Gorda assisting. So pretty incredible with the resources that we have here. We're not only worried about our citizens here, but we're also helping other communities. So we'll continue to work together towards recovery. We've got state teams from the Florida Division of Emergency Management are currently mobilized, and they're en route to Orange County today. They will be getting together with FEMA and our damage assessment teams that we have here in the EOC and going out and looking at those impacted areas to make sure that we are addressing that through all of our submissions for FEMA reimbursement. So thank you.
Okay, and with that, we're going to open it up for any questions. If we have any Spanish-speaking media and you want any of the questions or the responses interpreted in Spanish, I'm going to ask Ms. Ilia Torres, one of my special assistants, to come up and assist with that. If it's specific about public works or utilities or what have you, we do have staff in the room who are bilingual who will be able to respond to those questions as well. So with that, we're going to open it up for questions now.
Mayor, could you address the bottled water resources that may be available in East Orange County? A lot of people out there have wells that they don't have any power, that they can't pump water out, so there may be a lack of fresh water for them. Do you know what the county may be doing about that?
Yeah, our teams are now working here within the Emergency Operations Center to devise a plan of action to actually take the supply of water that we have, where we'll do a water distribution in those areas that may be impacted, where they're on well water and they don't have access to good quality tap water. So we're putting that together, and we'll release that sometime today when we will be out in those areas.
Mayor Jennings, I know you had a chance to visit the Orla Vista community. Do you feel enough was done since Irma to protect them from this kind of flooding?
The short answer is no. But I will put that in the context of we had a hurricane. There is no system out there that when a hurricane impacts an area, it's massive. It will overwhelm any stormwater system. So part of what we experience in Orla Vista is related to just the phenomena associated with the hurricane. Now, have we done enough over time to address the infrastructure needs? No, we're going to step that up a bit because I think the people out there, they deserve that. It's a costly fix. The Orla Vista neighborhood is 60 years old or so, and so over the decades, it has experienced some challenges with flooding just by the way that it was designed. And so we can't, in order to compensate for the development that has occurred around it, the poor design, it's a very, very costly fix. So we are going to look to not only address this with county funds, but we will look to partner with FEMA, our federal funds, as well as state funds to kind of address that in the very, very near future. So I was out there, and I know that the district commissioner, Commissioner Siplin, and our entire board, we're committed to that, like we are to addressing all the needs of our community. So I'm not here to make excuses for it, but the reality of the situation is we had widespread flooding across the entire county and across the entire state of Florida, and that's because of Hurricane Ian, not because of necessarily the shortcomings of man.
And do you know how many people were rescued from that community?
We all total across the county did over 1,000 evacuations. From that community, I haven't received the final numbers because that was an ongoing process yesterday, but we can provide that to you. I know prior to yesterday, prior to the storm, we had evacuated some 300. Yesterday that was a mission that was operational, and the numbers were growing as the day went on. And so we'll get you the number on the final group. Okay.
And Mayor Jennings, do you by chance know, have we had any reports of any deaths that have occurred as a result of Hurricane Ian in Orange County?
We have not had any storm-related deaths. I am told that in one case, when at one of the assisted living facilities, during the process of transporting patients, a patient that was already very critically ill, elderly patient, passed, but that at this point it has not been deemed storm related. It just was a natural cause for that particular individual. Okay. Other questions? En español. Okay.
Bueno, el estimado de daños en el condado que ha dejado Ian, si nos podría decir.
Let's take una a la vez. The first question will be the estimated damages caused by Hurricane Ian here in Orange County.
Okay, so our damage assessment teams led by the Controller's Office and other staff they're out doing the damage assessments as we speak. So we don't have that final number. We will have the estimate sometime within the next 24 hours.
Nuestros equipos de evaluación de daños están ubicados acá en el Centro de Operaciones de Emergencia, están liderados por la Oficina del Tasador de Propiedades y están en proceso de salir a la calle a hacer esas evaluaciones de daños. No tenemos los números en este momento.
Basado en esto, ¿hay un estimado de residentes que consideren estarían aplicando a los beneficios de FEMA?
Based on this damage assessment, would you have a number of residents that will be applying for FEMA's individual assistance?
We have no way of knowing how many residents will apply for assistance at this time.
En este momento no tenemos forma de determinar cuántos residentes estarían aplicando para asistencia de FEMA.
Ahora, en el tema de las escuelas, entiendo que son 1,000 refugiados y estarán abiertos los refugios, 10 escuelas en total que están sirviendo como refugios. En este sentido, estas 10 escuelas entonces no abrirían la próxima semana.
This question is regarding schools and those that are being used as shelters.
Okay. And let me go back to the previous question real quick, related to the number of individuals. Remember that there were a number of individuals who evacuated, who left the area, who went to hotels until all of those individuals come back to their homes, come back to their businesses. They may not even know they have damage at this point. And so the FEMA declaration was just made, so we cannot give you a precise number. That's going to take a while before we have any idea. Okay.
Tenemos que tener presente que hay muchos residentes que fueron desplazados de su residencia, otros fueron a hoteles y en este momento estarían regresando a sus casas para determinar si tuvieron daños en sus propiedades o en sus negocios. Entonces sería apresurado determinar quiénes estarían aplicando.
Okay, now to the schools.
Shorter responses.
I know she's really good.
Me preguntaba de las escuelas. Hay 10 escuelas como refugios, son 1,000 personas que no estarían regresando inmediatamente. Entonces quiere decir que esas escuelas estarían cerradas también la próxima semana.
So the question is regarding the 10 schools that are being used as shelters. We understand that there's 1,000 refugees or people in shelters at those schools. Will they be resuming school service on Monday?
The short answer is yes.
La respuesta corta es sí.
We will work with our other social service providers to make certain that persons who may need shelters will work with our community-based organizations to relocate them.
Estaremos trabajando con los socios de la comunidad que prestan servicios sociales para que aquellas personas que al final o antes de que resuman las clases el lunes puedan ser transicionadas a otro tipo de shelter o refugio.
Okay, and
this may be a question for Mr. Conkle, but this has to do with Orla Vista.
come on up, Director Conkle, or Ms. Almodovar. Yeah, either one. I couldn't see if he was back there or not.
Sir.
All right.
The pumps that we had out at Orla Vista, did they work? Did they work the way they're supposed to, or were they in a situation where you're just overwhelmed by the shape or the bowl shape of the neighborhood and the amount of rain?
Yes, we had both scenarios. The pumps worked as designed to function. We did have overabundance of rain all across Orange County. We have places where we have record highs in Little Wekiva. So we've had so much rain that this is new territory for us. And to answer your question specifically, there is a fail-safe mechanism inside the pump. And that shut down temporarily because it was a scenario that required it to shut itself down. About an hour or two later, it kicked back in like it was supposed to and continued to pump. So it was pumping at the rate that it's designed to pump. It was pumping at the discharge that we are allowed to send down Shingle Creek. So it was working like it was supposed to, but yes, it was inundated and sort of over its head.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't see any other questions, so thank you all for being here. This will conclude our press conference at this time.